Law and Whitetails, your guide to North America's #1 big game animal. Today's topic is learning all we possibly can from shed antlers. You know, if you're like me, you love finding shed antlers because each one is unique and each one tells a story. And if you're lucky enough to find a lot of cast antlers off a given property, this group of information tells you a lot about your deer herd if you know what to look for. So when I find a cast antler, the first thing I do is try to identify which buck that is, because in many cases I have a trail camera photo of that individual buck. In some cases it's very easy. It might be the split G4 buck. It might be the 2.5-year-old with the rear-facing brow tine. It could be, a 4-year-old that we had history with before that has short G2s. Whatever it is, pay close attention, match that up so you know you're looking at the same buck that you have trail camera photos for. The next thing to do is to assign a generic age to this animal, again, and group these according to your property. At least group your 1-year-olds and your 2-year-olds and your 3+, at least in broad age categories. And then assign a gross Boone and Crockett score, particularly at least from those shootable class bucks on your property. And I like to go ahead and assign a Boone and Crockett score because I typically have estimated that during the prior hunting season. So if I put the tape to it and it's real close to my estimate, I feel real good. If I'm getting a little aggressive in my scoring on the hoof, allows me to be a little more conservative and so on. Next thing I look for is any evidence of pedicle damage at time of casting. Often you'll see a small amount of pedicle material getting removed at the time of casting, and that pedicle is the stump from which antlers grow, and if a portion of that is torn off during the casting process, what can happen is an abnormal antler growth to occur in subsequent years. So if I recognize the individual buck, see evidence of potential pedicle damage at casting, then I follow that buck the next year, and if it does have an abnormal antler, I know why. The next thing I look for is the time at which the buck dropped its antlers, because time of year can be very important. In general, bucks that cast their antlers very early in the season are under some type of stress, either nutritional or physical stress. Those that carry their antlers much longer, often into the spring in the South, typically either have good nutrition or very high elevated testosterone levels. And finally, I look for where on the property the antlers were found, because that gives me an indication of where that deer is spending the late season towards casting time of the year, so that I know when and where to hunt him the following year. So we try to use all of these clues to learn all we can about our deer herd and to improve our hunting success. That's it for today's episode of Murphy's Law. I hope you learned something. And until next time, be sure to leave your questions and your comments here in the video, but also to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to check out all the great content at HuntStand.com.